What?
Yo, that's a Hall of Fame terrible take right there.
No, it's not. It's true. It's so true. Boy just choked. Straight women booty and let the ball go.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you.
LeBron James
puts up a three. One to go. Rebound box. Back out to Allen. His three-pointer. Bang! Irving Curry. One-on-one with Irving. Puts it up. It's good.
Don't do that to me right now.
You fucking motherfucking
Oh, yeah, we'll get to explaining and debating in a second.
Go home, bitch.
I was speaking Slovenian. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, shit. How we doing, Joe?
Oh,
How we doing,
hey,
Joe?
I'm feeling real good.
Yeah, I bet you
This is
are.
the best predictions I've had in 3
Ever.
years.
Ever.
Man, this feels
Ever.
good. I've been trying. Bro, I told you it wasn't looking good the first two rounds. Either Luka looked tired, and then just it clicked.
Hey.
And
Mavs
Dress
been
got
balling.
Irvin out there balling
Yeah. See,
in the native shoes.
I'm a little upset with Kyrie right now. I needed that game one Kyrie last night for my parlay, and he ain't quite do it for me. So
I could have told you that wasn't gonna happen.
You know, I didn't need it like all the way. I just needed a little something, a little juice, Joe.
He showed up in the fourth quarter.
He did. I needed 25 from him though. I needed 25 from him.
I could have told you weren't gonna get 25.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
They didn't need him to get 25. He'll get 25 when they need him to.
Yeah.
But they didn't need him to get it right there.
Yeah, I mean, he damn near got that in the first half in game one. So I was like, that's light work for Kyrie. But nonetheless, we got to talk about both these series, Joe. All right. Just going to run away.
I didn't run away. I left my PlayStation on and I was in a party chat and my controller turned off. So then I start hearing people talk.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you got that resolved, Joe.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about the East series first. This boring ass, stupid ass fucking series. We got the Pacers and the Celtics. The Celtics are up 2-0. Halliburton tweaked his hamstring in game 2. Could not finish the game. Is unlikely to play tonight.
Over.
So yeah, talk to me, Joe.
It's over. It's over. But I know I'm wearing Chaminade red on today. But damn, Jason Tatum. Get your head out your ass. And you know, Jaylen Brown said it in a nice way at the game 1. He said it in a very nice way. He said, "Yeah, we did what we had to do until Jason Tatum got into the motion of things." Instead of saying until Jason Tatum woke up and got his head out his ass, because there's zero excuse. Jaylen Brown saving your ass. If Jaylen Brown wasn't balling, we'd be talking about you. Even if y'all won and everybody was just distributing and everybody had equal points, we'd still be talking about how you not playing well. You lucky Jaylen Brown dropping 38 and 40 plus points, because then it'd be all directed at you. And you're lucky that overtime, you're the only player since Rondo to have 9 or more points in overtime, or we'd be looking at you. And we would say, it's not a discussion. Anthony Edwards playing bad. Jason Tatum playing bad. We sitting here talking about who's the best American-born player, and it's irrelevant because they're not showing up in these series. You got to get it together. You got to get it together. And I don't want to hear nothing about no Porzingis not there, so that's maybe why they struggling a little bit. I ain't trying to hear that.
I ain't hearing that. They got way too much firepower on that team.
Hauser came up in that mug and was doing impactful stuff. So where are you at, Jason Tatum?
Yeah, and here's the thing. Like we saw in the Knicks Pacers series, right? A lot of the Pacers' better defensive guards were too small or too weak for Jalen Brunson.
Yes.
Jason Tatum, you have 8 inches of height on Jalen Brunson. I need they don't got a guy for you. Like unless they throw Siakam on you, which then that should just be a layup line for you. You know what I'm saying? Like there's not a matchup that Jason Tatum should not be able to exploit on the Pacers.
But
it's going to get tougher the next round, no matter which way that if the Timberwolves make a comeback or if it is the Mavericks, it's going to get a lot harder for you. You're going to get some real defensive stoppers.
And to your point, we saw this last night with Luka. I know we're going to get into it, but have you ever seen Jason Tatum see somebody guarding him and he go barbecue chicken? Like you just watch him and you can tell, oh, he confident. He finna get in his bag and get exactly where he want to do. No, you watch Jason Tatum, you go, oh, he finna do some extra stuff.
Yep, he's
You
gonna
get
get into his Drew Hanlon
just about to do some
bag
extra stuff.
and hezzy tween hezzy step back.
Exactly.
It's like the moves are just a lot of times look predetermined, and
If
that's
he
what
really
always
wants,
bothers me about these
yep,
players that spend so much time with their personal trainers. I have nothing against personal trainers. I think Drew Hanlon does a great job,
shout out.
but they have to be able to still read the game, read the defender. It can't just be, oh, I'm going to hit this combo. That's not always going to be the thing that works. Like, you have to be able to, okay, well, if he presses up on me like this, then I'm going to react like this. Like, you got to still play basketball. And I don't know what it is, Joe. Like, he doesn't look engaged all the time. Like, I don't know if he's got some shit going on personally. I don't know. But we don't know that. We got to judge what he's putting on show on the court. It hasn't been very good. And it's not going to be good enough when they go to the finals, because this shit's over. This shit's over.
When you watch a player and you just like watch them grow, and then you go, oh, the game done click for him. Look like it done slowed down. There's too many times when you watch Jason Tatum, you go, I don't think the game slowed down to him. It looked like he's rushing to get to his spot, and there's just too many times where they're fumbling their dribbles. Him and Jaylen Brown, I feel like they know how to play the game. They smart enough how to get their own shot, but too many times they feel like, I just think they don't understand the flow of the game and how to play at a pace correctly.
Sometimes, Joe, the thing
Drew
that
Holiday would help that, but they just don't know how to play at it.
So this is, remember when we were
pace.
talking about all these trades that they made before the season started, right? And I said, you know me, I love Drew Holiday. He's my favorite point guard in the entire NBA. Want him on the Heat, like love him. I said it's not going to matter if they just keep doing the same shit though offensively. It doesn't matter who the point guard is. Like, people wanted to scapegoat Marcus Smart. Well, he's not a real point guard. It doesn't matter if you have you could bring fucking Rondo back, prime Rondo back to the Celtics. It's not going to fucking matter, because all they want to do is hunt the switch and then just try and clear out for Tatum or clear out for Jaylen Brown. And it's like, that's fine if one of them gets going and one of them gets hot, but it's just not good enough. That's why you see such volatility in their three-point shot making.
And I can't believe I'm finna
when they go heavier into that ISO bullshit, they're tough. When that ball just moves and they're just cutting and moving and then they hit their wide open threes, yeah, they're really good. They're really good. I have no issue hunting a matchup to them, break down the defense, and then kick to somebody. I have no issue with any of that. But when Jason Tatum wants to get into his bag, hit his little stiff arm, that I'm just still waiting for the NBA to ever fucking call an offensive foul. Like, I've never seen somebody just blatantly be able to throw people out the way. And this is kind of what I think happens, Joe. While it's not being called an offensive foul like it should, he's also not. A lot of times he will do that and then get a foul called for him. He's not getting those right now because of how they kind of changed the officiating down the stretch of the NBA and into the playoffs. Down the stretch of the regular season and into the playoffs. And he gets so in his head, you see him just like always like. Luka does this all the time too. It drives me fucking nuts too. But Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, they're always like looking for the referee. Like, why aren't you giving me my little bailout call? Play fucking basketball, man. Which
is the best part of this playoffs. It's great.
Yes.
But I got a question for you.
Yep.
Drew Holiday, right?
Mm-hmm.
I came out and give a shout out to Jason Kidd. You know how the Bucks got good? Well, and then Budenholzer took advantage of it.
Yep.
They took the ball out of Drew Holiday's hands and put it in Giannis's hands, and they played through Giannis. Drew Holiday was the point guard.
That didn't overlap. Drew Holiday was on the Pelicans when Jason Kidd.
Oh, yeah, you're right. So Jason Kidd started it, and then Budenholzer just kept it going.
Yeah, they had that wasn't Drew Holiday. That was Eric Bledsoe. But you're right.
That's why.
You're right.
Why can't they do that similar thing with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown? Jaylen Brown can be Chris Middleton. Jason Tatum can be Giannis. And you got Drew Holiday. Why? But we know why, because they're gonna ISO ball. But why can't they just play like that? Jason Tatum, a power forward, he could do that. He's a really good rebounder. It's not like he couldn't do that.
He could play the four, especially in today's
I'm saying he doesn't need to play the four. I'm just saying they could use that model because Giannis didn't always play the four. Well, I don't understand why they can't use that model and why they think they have a tandem of Luka and Kyrie when they don't. You have two small forwards playing. You have two small forwards. Jaylen Brown's not a shooting guard. He's a small forward. I got two small forwards out there.
It's semantics between a 2 and a 3.
It is,
honestly.
The way he doesn't play like a shooting guard.
The issue with
Jaylen Brown,
like
J.R. Smith or a
The issue with Jaylen Brown is the fact that it's real good right now, right? He's making shots. We've seen this story way too many times though, where these shots will stop going in.
Absolutely.
Like
He's
you're going
gonna
to
get
play a tougher
frustrated.
defensive team. He's a front runner, just like the rest of the Celtics are. So yeah, they don't view the Pacers as a threat. Like they know they're better. They needed somebody to test them that they actually have a little fear in their their heart. Like, oh shit, yeah, we could lose to them. We could lose to them. That's not the Pacers. So they're they're going to front run. When they get to the finals, they're going to have a little
One
doubt.
bit of adversity is over.
Yeah, and I mean we saw like they were lucky to win Game 1. They should not have won Game 1. The Pacers just handed it to him on a silver platter. Halliburton forgetting how to dribble, then not fouling. In which I want to talk about this a little bit, Joe.
No timeout call.
Right, yeah, on the inbound where
Rick
it got
Carlisle,
stolen.
why do you have 10 plus assistant coaches and you stand away from the bench the whole game? You tell me not one assistant coach said, "Hey, coach, you should call a timeout." Maybe if you were a little closer to him, you may have heard him. Why you got so many assistant coaches if you don't use them? Why you been in the league so long
I'm
if
not
you
going to
missed
speak
that?
to where he does or does not use them, but
I'm just saying.
I want to ask you about the foul, no foul there at the end, because they all admitted that the call from the huddle was to foul, right? Not even to allow Jaylen Brown to shoot the three to tie it up, right? So
I got something to say on that.
I want your kind of reaction on that part, Joe.
One, stupidity. This is what I'm gonna blame it on. Yes, this fast pace is great. They can put up a lot. They get a lot of possessions. They get a lot of opportunities to put up buckets. But you know what else they do? Turn the ball over a lot. You know what else they do? They don't think about the game. And I think that's what it is. When you sitting there for 4 quarters and you're playing fast pace, and in the last 2 minutes of the game slows down, but they're still fast pace, and they get so many stupid sloppy turnovers and they don't play right. When you watch that inbound play, you're up 3. Why the hell are 2 people crashing the lane and not protecting the 3-point line? Why are you getting sucked into the lane in the first place? Then secondly, Rick Carlisle, why is TJ McConnell out there? Not a good defender. Why don't you put Obi Toppin out there to give him some length? Why won't you do something like that? And then you don't have that situation where that screen happens. TJ McConnell is in the way, which slows down the defender so he can't get to Jaylen Brown. There was just so many things that they did wrong, and I totally believe
I want to talk
pace.
about that part a little bit, Joe.
It's the
Because
pace.
I don't think McConnell's a good defender. I don't know what you're talking about saying he's a bad defender. He's a
No,
good defender.
I meant sorry. You're right. He's a good defender, but not. He didn't have. He was the size and the length.
So
Size and length.
Here's my thing.
Why you got everybody small when you got all those 6'8"
like
guys
having
on
a
the
small
bench?
guy out there if your plan is to foul, right? Get your more agile guy that can
I
stay
guess, yeah. But they
glued
didn't
to the
foul.
defender. The issue I have is why are you not switching everything? That's what the real issue was there. The fact that Siakam's trying to fight over a screen that they get a good shoulder on him that just naturally slows him down. Because I agree that Siakam should not have fouled on that play.
Absolutely not.
Because
foul.
there's too much space between them. If he would have gone for the foul, Jaylen Brown's gonna get 3 free throws, right?
Yep.
And at that point, he honestly played good defense.
He may have made it too.
Like I mean, yeah, Jaylen Brown had to make a really tough shot. So shout out to Jaylen Brown for making that very.
I don't think
shot.
it was not a tough shot. It was not. It wasn't contested. It was a corner 3
but I mean,
uncontested.
when someone's right up in your shit like that, that bothers a shooter.
Uncontested. Uncontested. In the NBA, these shooters nowadays, that's uncontested, bro. No hand in your face. Yeah, you're not even worried about your legs because you know they're gonna protect you and give you the call if they hit you in the legs. You just
nonetheless, I don't know why. If you're planning to foul, McConnell just has to run with him, and then Siakam, if they get a backdoor dunk real quick, great. Inbound the basketball real quick, get fouled.
That's why I didn't understand that either. Yeah.
Just switch everything. Like you're fouling. It doesn't matter if there's a size advantage because immediately on catch, bam, smack.
I would have had nobody in the paint. No one in the paint. For what? Let them get the 2, and then we get the ball. They're gonna have to foul us.
We did see how hard it was for them to inbound the basketball there. But yes,
I agree. You got to call a timeout in that situation.
Again, if you switch everything and then you give up a dunk on the switch because he just dives right to the rim, fine. You're still up 1. You live to see another day. Turn it into a free throw shooting game. I think the Celtics might have been out of timeouts. I have to double check that. I think they were out of timeouts at that point. So if you make your free throws, they got to go the full length of the court. You basically need one more stop. And then again, I'm fouling again as soon as he gets across half court. Boom, shoot your 2 free throws, ball game.
You see what the
Right.
Celtics did when they were up 6 in overtime,
Yeah.
taking no chances. Timeout, advance the ball. Let's get this going. Let's get it right.
I will give Rick Carlisle credit. He did own it after the game. After game 1, he said that was on him. But yeah,
it
now with
was.
the Halley injury, it's going to be tough.
over.
But Joe, we got to try and find some hope for the Indiana Pacers fans. How do they get back into this series?
Oh, it's a bad game. It's in Indiana, right? What
Yeah, back to
hotel are the
Indy.
Celtics staying at? Food poisoning. I got nothing for you. It's a wrap. Jason Tatum can have a bad game. Jaylen Brown can have a bad game. Well, hold on. I'm sorry. I take that back. It's not a wrap. It's not a
Yeah,
wrap.
you know what we're talking about.
It's not. I can TJ McConnell could come out and drop 35. It's not a wrap. You never know, but it's over. It's over. It really is. Especially the Celtics. Yeah, it's over. I got nothing. I'm trying to come up with something as I'm talking, and Pascal Siakam had a good game, and y'all lost. It's like it depends
Can
on
we talk
like
about
just because you have a good
I
game
forgot that I wanted to bring this up in the
individually
last bit too.
doesn't
Can we
mean
talk
you
about how
helping the
Rick
team.
Carlisle sat Siakam for the last 9 minutes of the game?
I didn't have a problem with it.
He called the
I didn't have a
dogs
problem
over
with
there down like 11.
Just because you're having a
Siakam
good
was
game,
keeping him in the game.
just because you're having a good game individually doesn't mean you're helping the team win.
Shit, he was
I'd rather
helping.
have Tyrese Halliburton having a great game than Pascal Siakam having a great game.
Well, yeah, but at that point, Halliburton's already out. Like he's not coming back. It's already announced he's not coming back
That's
into the
true.
game. Like
That's true.
you had to steal that. You had to get one of those two to even make it interesting.
I see
But
what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
nonetheless, what I think the Pacers need to do, get down on both knees, look up to God, give a real good prayer. That's all I got for him.
Hope somebody put a lot of money on the Pacers so the refs feel obligated to make it a close game.
Look,
I'm just kidding. There's nothing they can do.
Like their only hope, but they got to really just fully dive into the play fast thing. Just play as fast as you can, get as many shots up as you can, try and get the Celtics to play into your hands there. Have them chuck up a bunch of threes, and you got to have like what Miami did in Game 2. Just chuck threes, just chuck them and hope they go in. That's really their only prayer. Just hope that you can get 4 games where you just chuck some threes and they just happen to go in.
And play everybody. Play everybody. Why not? Give everybody this playoff experience for next year. Play everybody. I don't care.
Anybody you value and you want a part of that organization moving forward, yes, they need significant time in the playoffs right now. And look, they might get swept now. It's a good season for the Pacers. This was a great season for the Pacers to get to where they got to. I know the Knicks kind of got banged up and whatever, but at the end of the day, the Pacers took a good step forward. Yeah, I mean, they took a good step forward. Like that's good for them. So, they shouldn't be too upset about this one. Fully healthy, they probably were still getting smoked by the Celtics. But, go get a piece in the offseason, a piece or two, and see if you can kind of do, kind of what the Timberwolves did this year, where you take that really next big step where you look like a true contender. Let's talk about those Timberwolves, Joe. Your pick looking real good. The Mavs are up 2-0, taking both games in Minnesota. I will remind you and everyone else that Minnesota did only win one home game last series when they beat the Nuggets. So I wouldn't say it's quite over yet, but it's definitely looking good for the Mavericks. It's definitely looking good for the Mavs. What's kind of your reaction been to this series so far?
I tried to tell y'all, Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert couldn't keep up that mental fortitude. Tried to tell you. And now some of y'all feel stupid talking about Anthony Edwards is next MJ, don't you? Y'all feel real stupid, don't you? Like he having a good game, but he ain't doing what he did in that last series. He ain't putting his impact on the game. There's times where you go, oh, is Ant-Man in the game? He can't do that if he want to be that guy. I'm not gonna slam him too hard because his first time being here, he young, and they're gonna do the same thing like they did to Jason Tatum. So I'm not gonna do that to him. But I'm just saying he has to play better. Then Rudy Gobert, 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. I'm tired of people saying Luka is that dude. He gonna cook everybody. No, there's too many times where the defensive player of the year is getting cooked. You gotta win
Not
some
just
of them.
cooked, Joe. Not
You
just
gotta
fucking
win
cooked.
some of them.
He is getting hunted. They are hunting the
No,
quote unquote
and
defensive player of the year. They
the
are
worst
looking
part,
for him.
the
They
worst part
want
is
him.
the worst part is the Timberwolves wanted that switch. They wanted it. As soon as Luka inbound that ball, you double him, get it out of his hands, and everybody rotates. They said they
No, they
slagged
said, all
off.
right, yeah,
And
go
said, go
get
ahead,
him, Gobert.
Rudy. Go ahead. Your long arms got him. And guess what happened? Cooked.
This is not the dumbass fucking Suns team that you played. All right, this is not the
Cooked.
fucking dumbass Suns team. Okay,
Luka was
this
comfortable.
is not soft ass Jamal Murray.
Man.
Okay, this is a team that's got two guys that whatever they can be having their worst game of their career. When it comes to money time, I don't want to see Luka or Kyrie taking a shot being guarded by some fucking Rudy
One-on-one.
Gobert.
Crazy.
I don't want that. No, I'm not going one.
Crazy.
I don't like. No, how many times we got to see Gobert get fucking hunted in the playoffs? This is why I get so angry every time he gets one of these goddamn Defensive Player of the Year awards, because you
Hall of
cannot
Famer.
be the Defensive Player of the Year and be the target of someone's offense. That makes
Rudy.
no fucking sense. And this is why I was so just baffled by how the Suns did not wipe the floor with the Timberwolves in the round one. Why, Frank Vogel? I hope you're watching. You're probably gonna have a whole year off because you're a fucking dumbass. Take some notes. This is how you fucking attack them. In the last shot of the game, Joe, is not even really the one, because that's honestly what the Suns tried to do all series, was just ISO him.
Right.
No, put his ass in pick and roll the entire time. His ass makes us run all the way fucking around. He's not at the rim to protect, so you can still get your layups from your other players, have a good passes. Oh my god! Oh yeah.
And shout out Kyrie. Shout out Kyrie too.
Kyrie's been hooping.
Kevin Garnett said this. I'm gonna give him credit. He said he in his bean spirit, and when he said that, I was watching, and I was like, "Yo, you're right." Like when Kyrie has the ball and he's attacking, he's so calm and he knows exactly what he's gonna do. He's not pressed like Jason Tatum is to try to get a shot. He's like, "Okay, I'm gonna get to my spot, but you don't know how I'm gonna get there. I don't know how I'm gonna get there yet either, but I'm gonna get there." And it's cooking.
What's been also, I think,
amazing.
fantastic about Kyrie this entire playoff run, because everyone talked about last year's where he wasn't scoring a ton. The evolution of Kyrie Irving, the passer and on-time passer for this season. I mean, he's always been a pretty good passer, but his passing ability in this playoff run has been fantastic.
And his point guarding, like, let's be real, like LeBron used to get on his ass. 4 assists is not enough. You can't have under 4 assists. I don't care about Kyrie's assist numbers. It's the way he's controlling the game, the pace, when he's getting his shot, when he's making sure others get their shot, when he's making sure Luka gets his shot, like he did in game 1. He took over in game 1 because he knew
they needed him.
Ant-Man and them were gonna be tired. Like, you just played a game 7. You really think you can hang with me in the game 1? Let me show you something right off the bat. And then Luka took over in the fourth quarter, or in the second half, and then Kyrie came up a little bit in the fourth quarter. I knew that last night watching the game. Kyrie was sitting for the last 4 minutes of the third quarter, and I said, the Timberwolves were making a little run, and I was like, just wait. Kyrie gonna come out in the beginning of the fourth quarter or the last minute in that third, and he gonna start getting things together. He gonna start making shots, and then he gonna give it to Luka and let Luka finish. And that's exactly what happened. And it's a scary tandem.
I'm gonna stand on this. Their offense is best when Kyrie has been running it.
I agreed.
When Luka's off ball, the ball still just sticks a little too much. Again, end of game, like when they went for the game winner, no issue.
All right.
That's when you run that type of offense, right? Luka's going to get it, and that's fine. But just quarters 1 through 3, and then even the most of the fourth quarter, I like it when Kyrie Irving is controlling the offense, say 70% of the time. 70% of the time that he's out there, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
You still got to give Luka his moments to kind of get in his bag and still kind of feel a rhythm. But I think Kyrie gets the other players going a little better. So then when Luka does control it, they're more ready when he hits them with some of those passes after he's kind of dribbled out the shot clock a little bit. I still don't love that. I still think they're doing that a little too much. But on the flip side, the Timberwolves have really fallen into that gap. And part of me wonders, because I've seen now every single team that the Mavs have played has tried to get into that same type of ISO situation.
Mm-hmm.
So here's my thing, right? I don't like that type of basketball. The ball needs to be free flowing. That's how you're going to have the best offensive output. But there's part of me that wonders when you've got these superstars on these other teams that are kind of young and trying to prove themselves, when they see Luka and Kyrie doing that, it almost feels like these other superstars are feeling like they need to
They
match
can
it.
do it.
Like they kind of like they need to prove themselves, right? And you know, I think that's causing a lot of issues. Like I saw Shea doing that a lot in their second round series with the Mavericks, and
He did.
there's a lot of times where I feel like Anthony Edwards is, and this wasn't happening in the prior series where he makes a pass, or he takes a double team, which is good, and then makes the pass, but then he just like hangs out way back behind the 3-point line, and so it it doesn't allow them to play with the advantage that they're supposed to be able to play with when he's getting double teamed. He needs to pass it and then immediately cut down the lane, loop around, get everyone else moving to really take advantage of that numbers advantage they're getting by him getting doubled. I don't feel like they're taking advantage of that enough, and maybe they adjust going forward. But I think that's kind of been the difference. Like they had a nice lead yesterday, mostly because they were making these good passes, they were hitting open players. Nas Reed was hitting some good threes, and hey, Nas almost got Luka back right there at the
Dude,
end.
oh my,
That was almost down.
no, it's the most frustrating thing in the world to me. I don't understand it because I'm sitting there watching the game and I can see exactly what they're gonna do. Why you keep leaving Nas Reed open at the top of the arc? That is his spot, and they do it every time. I'm like, come on, bro. Like they don't have anybody that you should be scared of that's gonna penetrate besides Anthony Edwards like that. If it's not
Like
Anthony
Conley a little bit.
Edwards, then
Conley a
you
little
need to
bit. He's got that
Conley
really
a
nice
little bit,
both hand
but not
float
at the
game.
end of the game. Not at the end of the game. You know they're going that. That's
I
also
didn't
a
have
thing
any
that
issue
hurts
with
them.
how they defended the last play, because at the end of the day,
What about that three
I
before
want
that he made?
Nas. I
What about
want
the three
no.
before?
You're right. Yes, I agree. I'm just saying that last play. Anyone that's not named Anthony Edwards taking that last shot is a win for the Mavericks,
Fair, fair, fair.
because he's on that caliber like Luka. You're not getting single coverage.
That's
You're
fair.
just not getting it, especially when we're only up one.
And
Let's
then
let,
shout
oh,
out
go
real
ahead.
quick to the
Go ahead.
Dallas Mavs. We gave them so much shit for tanking last year.
No, they
Do you
didn't
know
tank.
who
They missed the playoffs.
on purpose?
No, they did not.
You don't think they lost those last two games on purpose where they said Luka and Kyrie?
I think they did lose on purpose. It wasn't going to matter by the way that the games played out. They were going
Okay,
to miss it
but
either way.
anyway, they got Lively out of it. And you know who their second leading scorer last year was? Tim Hardaway Jr. Tim Hardaway Jr. can't get off the bench. So give the Dallas Mavericks some credit that they took
The
Tim
roster
Hardaway
building that they
Jr.
did, the
It's
roster building
amazing.
they did,
From last year,
fantastic. Derek Jones Jr.
Yeah.
Over the last couple, Derek Jones Jr., Derek Lively in the draft, PJ Washington and Gafford at the trade deadline, Kyrie obviously, like those have all formed together very nicely.
Can you imagine Luka only his second leading scorer was Tim Hardaway Jr. last year? Like,
I mean,
and we
did
wanted him
Kyrie
to
like
do
not
something with that.
qualify or something?
They only played like 20 games together, if that.
I mean, whatever.
So yeah, he didn't qualify.
All right.
Crazy.
I'm just saying, like, it's not like they didn't have a second guy on the roster for the second half of the year. Like, they had Kyrie.
I give you that, but I'm
nonetheless,
just saying.
And Joe, remember when we were talking
season.
about this series before it started, I was very curious on how the matchup between Derek Jones Jr. and Anthony Edwards would go. Derek Jones Jr. is winning.
Yeah,
He's winning.
And I like when they switch him on Conley. Like, okay, Conley, you the point guard, you helping getting everything and keeping everybody calm. Guess what? We finna put him on you with his long arms and making you frustrated. And you saw it in that fourth quarter. Conley was frustrated. He get past the ball and then turned away and looked away and started yelling at the ref. That's exactly what you need. If you got the veteran
This is what
point
Derek
guard
Jones
acting like
Jr.
that,
has done his entire
great.
career. He just wreaks havoc on the opposing offense because, like
And
I said, he's very long. He can jump out the gym. He's quick laterally.
And
Like he is
making
such
shots
a
now
good.
too.
Yeah, he's hitting his little corner threes. You know, like
Scary.
the one thing I've always
Scary.
loved, his shot selection has always been really good. Like he's never been this guy that just I'm going to get up a shot because I need to get up a shot. That's never him. That's never him.
He can't shoot for real.
Yeah, he's not a great shooter, but he knows that. He knows his role. He is the perfect embodiment of a role player, knowing the role and thriving in that role. So shout out to Derek Jones Jr. He's been fantastic. Let's talk about the Wolves though, Joe. How do they make this a series again? They're down 2-0. They got to go to Dallas now. What do you think they need to do differently?
Stop playing drop coverage. Take Rudy Gobert out. Only give him 26, 27 minutes. Put Nas Reed in more. press. Don't press. They did that too much. You cannot pick up even the 6 man or your backup point guard come out there. I know you like to have them press and change the tempo of the game. You can't do that against Luka and Kyrie. You can't, because then they're gonna get things going. You got to try to get them to play iso ball and not pass the ball. You got to play half court defense, because then they'll fall into that iso ball, and that's your only chance. And then Rudy Gobert is a liability. You cannot have him out there playing drop coverage, especially if you guys aren't going to be making shots, because Luka and Kyrie gonna push the pace and they're gonna get what they want. It may not seem like Luka's fast enough, but he knows how to control the pace and move the ball, and he knows how to get those dimes. So you got to be careful. Their best chance is to have Naz Reid out there. Hopefully, Naz Reid has a great game, has 22 plus points, gets a couple blocks, does what he did like he did against Jokic, and Anthony Edwards is dominant on defense. That's y'all chance. He doesn't have to score 20 plus points. I'll be okay with him scoring 16.
Yes, no, he has to score. He has to score.
Well,
he has to be
no,
getting.
because if Naz
Anthony
Reid's
Edwards needs to be scoring 25 plus if they're gonna have a chance to win the series. Because you're not like Kyrie Irving and Luka.
but
they're
there's no
each-
excuse for there's no excuse for Cat not to have 25 and 10. There's no excuse.
Joe, I
There's
understand
no
what
excuse.
you're saying,
There's none.
but at some point, a player is who he is who he
I
is.
get it. Lively 7'1", but he's a rookie. Gafford is undersized at his position to be going
He's
against
a good
Cat.
shot blocker, though. He's a good rim protector.
He
Top
is.
5 in the league.
Bro, he's so soft. You're right.
Statistically,
Sassiest
and
man
like
in the league, bro.
Cat's just not going to be able to. You can't rely on Cat to do that. I agree with you, Joe. Gobert, you got to be out of there. Now, I read something. I don't know how valid this is, but apparently a part of the sign or the trade with Gobert and the conversations that were had with Gobert was that they kind of agreed that they would not take him off the floor in these types of situations.
That's why we don't like his ass, bro. That's why don't nobody like his ass, because he know he a liability. How you gonna negotiate your liability in the contract? That's some bitch shit, bro. Oh my god. Are you
So
serious?
here's right here. I don't know if
That's
it's in the
crazy.
contract, but I'm just saying that is a conversation that was had with the Timberwolves and him.
And
You know, he
you
didn't.
gotta keep him happy. That's some bullshit, bro.
I would trade his ass so fast, but nonetheless, I agree. He has to get off. You can't have him on the floor in money moments.
If Caitlin Clark can get benched, his ass can get benched. Fuck
Because
that.
here's the thing, Joe. You know he doesn't give you anything offensively. I mean, I've never like he's 7'2", 7'3", whatever he is, catching the ball 5 feet from the rim and has to pass.
Yep. He made airball.
Yeah, like you know, we all had fun with like the crazy shot that he made against Jokic in the Nuggets. The reason why we had so much fun with that is because of how ridiculous the fact that it went in was. Because he can't. We've seen him airball from 3 feet. Like you can't have somebody that's a liability on both ends. You can't do that. You're in the conference finals. You got to swallow your pride, take him to the bench. Because at least the one thing I'll give Cat, he's not the quickest. He had 2 really dumb fucking fouls in the first 5 minutes of the game last time. Like we know he's going to do a few times in a series. But he at least does not require your defense to play that drop coverage, like you're saying, because the Mavs are going to eat that up. And he can at least kind of show and stay out there and be a threat on those pick and roll, pick and pops, all this. He can actually kind of guard that okay, to where it's at least going to be a tough shot. Now they might be able to swing and get somebody else a good mismatch and a drive, but at the end of the day, it's at least not just an automatic shot that Kyrie Irving and Luka Doncic want every single time. So he's got to get out the game, play him first few quarters, whatever. That's fine, but you got like Naz Reid needs to play more. He gives you a good threat from the outside, and he actually drives the ball with some authority, which they need as well. So they really got to lean into those players. And Cat, you're my dog. I've been hyping Cat or Ant this entire time.
You're right, Cat. The wolf done turned into a cat.
Ant, I'm talking about Ant now. Ant, this is the time.
I know. I call him a wolf. I say he done turned into a cat, like Cat. He ain't a lion. He is Cat.
Get what you're putting down now. But yeah, I know. I need.
I've been listening to Kendrick a lot. That was a triple entendre.
Not like us.
Tricky ass nigga. 6'9" God.
Sorry. Ant needs to show up now. You got to find a way to be effective. You got to find a way to get your points. it's not going to be off of just you catch the ball, dribble.
Mhm.
We're in the conference finals. These teams are smart enough to defend that.
I ain't trying to hear you tired either.
Nope, not hearing
Everybody
that. I'm not
tired.
hearing none of that. I'm not hearing no excuses. Figure it out.
Yeah,
All
healthy.
great players get doubled. All of them. All great players get doubled. Figured out how to be effective. You don't think Kobe got doubled? LeBron hasn't gotten doubled. Dwayne Wade got doubled. Michael Jordan got doubled. All these people that we've heard all these
Larry Bird.
comparisons to. I'm talking about all the people that we've heard Ant get compared to,
Oh.
right? They all got doubled and they figured it
Facts.
out, right? Like, so Ant's got to figure it out. I'm again, like you, I'm not condemning him for the rest of his career if he can't get it done. He's 22. He's got plenty of room to learn from this, but got to figure it out. Got to figure it out. And I would also like to see the Timberwolves coaching make some adjustments to help Ant get going.
Agreed.
You guys are the adults in the room, right? Run some plays that get him firing off some screens to where he's getting into an automatic advantage on the catch, not relying on him to create everything, right? You have a great point guard in Mike Conley. Take advantage of it. Use him more. Conley's the one that said before the playoffs started, right? Like, no, this might be my last run, all these things. Give him the opportunity. He's always taking care of the ball.
Facts.
But yeah, get Rudy Gobert's dumbass off the fucking court.
Rudy. Sorry.
You know how we end the show, Joe.
Yes,
We choose love. We choose violence. What you got?
I'm so mad that I gotta choose hate, and I gotta support the Celtics in the process of me creating hate. First, it started off with Jason Tatum not getting one first place vote for MVP. The best team in the NBA, best player on the best team in the NBA, doesn't get one vote for first team. I mean, for MVP. Then Jaylen Brown, the second best player on the best team in the NBA, doesn't make any of the all NBA teams.
Good.
Why are we changing the criteria? We have to stop with the narrative and the stigma that we see on these players. I guarantee you right now, if you put up the list of shooting guards in the NBA, put up their stats, put up their win-loss record, and don't put their face on there, Jaylen Brown getting votes and he on that first, second, or third team all NBA. The voters got to stop with their narrative and their stigma on these players. I agree. I would have done the same thing. I'm not gonna sit there and act like I win. I've been like Jaylen Brown. He is good, but he ain't shown me enough. Like I was expecting more. But he statistically should have been in that first, second, or third team all NBA. Our third team, he should have been a third team all NBA. Come on, man. Like, come on. Look at the name. Come on, bro. Are you telling me he shouldn't have been on there? They got the best record. They got one of the best offenses. They had the best point differential, and they are the two best
put
players
Drew
on that
Holiday
team.
on there before him.
That's crazy. He on the all defensive team? No way.
As he should be.
But he should not be all. No way. You tell me you're not putting Jaylen Brown on there? It's because that stigma. It's because that stigma. I saw you sit there and think about it, like, man, if his face wasn't there, would I have voted for him? Yes, you would have. Yes, you would have.
It shouldn't be just based on stats. You should have to watch the games and understand how they're playing. I'm not co-signing that you just.
I agree with you on that part too. I was just saying, if that's how it went, they would have voted for Jaylen.
I mean, I'm just thinking of people, right? Jalen Brunson, because they just do like the guard versus bigs now, so it's not like position. So like Jalen Brunson has to be ahead of him. Steph's ahead of him.
Nope.
You want to put Steph ahead of him?
Nope. They didn't even make the playoffs. No.
So?
Nope.
It's not because of
Steph.
Steph.
Up there. Nope. Not putting Steph up there. I'll put
Halliburton ahead of him. De'Aaron Fox ahead of
Halliburton
him.
shouldn't have been ahead of him. He missed too many games, but whatever, it is what it is. I would have knocked him down for missing games, but it is what it is. Had a great season.
Should be ahead of him. I'm just kind of going off the
Tyrese Maxey should not be ahead of them. What did he do?
He should.
What did he do when Joel Embiid wasn't there? Losing record. Nope. Out of there.
What about his stats though? The stats you're all hyping
up. The stats are good, but I watched the game. Like you said, watch the games too. No.
Yeah, he's way better.
He did not impact his
Tyrese
team.
Maxey way more than you think the Celtics are going to start losing if Jalen fucking Brown missed games?
His impact in winning was more impactful than Tyrese Maxey's was for the 76ers this year.
Jason Tatum
Absolutely.
carried that team in the regular season.
At,
Jason
no
Tatum,
way.
Porzingis, and Drew Holiday carried that team in the regular
Crazy.
season.
Crazy.
Jalen Brown had some good games, but I'm not going to hate on him. He's a good player.
Crazy.
You know,
You should
if
be
he
on
would
that.
if he would have got All NBA third team, I'm going to be mad about it. But,
No.
you know, I'm also not mad that he didn't get it.
Disrespect. If they win the championship this year and then they have the exact same stats next year and the exact same successful season as they did this year, Jalen Brown getting voted.
You're not wrong about that. I'll give you that for sure.
That's my
for
point.
sure is going to
They
happen.
got the stigma and the narrative of the media
But
is why they didn't put him on
but
there.
the
I think
point
arguable.
the point of
I agree with you
contention
that it is arguable.
the
but the
point
fact
of
that he didn't make
contention
it
is
stick
would this season's iteration be more correct than that scenario that you just invented if they do win? Just because that will happen doesn't mean that that's what should happen.
Okay. I'm agreeing with you. You're making my point, though. I'm just saying it's the narrative that's affecting their judgment on voting him in. I agree.
For sure.
I think
that's the whole thing. The one thing that I
think
will
there
say
is an
about this whole
argument. I'm
situation,
agreeing
which
you
does
that there's
not
an
matter for
argument.
Jalen Brown because he already got an All NBA team in his past,
But that's not
tying their contracts to this
It's
type of
ridiculous.
shit is ridiculous.
Yep.
Because people are losing money based on narratives about them that they don't get to really
Mhm.
control. So that part I really don't like, and I just as I've gotten older, I just don't really care about these All NBA team things. Not really. What does All NBA really even mean? Like I feel like kind of like what you're saying. The definition changes every single fucking year. Like
Ridiculous.
I can get more into like the all defensive teams because at least I know that you're trying to grade them purely on their defense.
Yep.
All NBA is so ambiguous. Like, oh, well, this year we're going to value two-way players. This year we're just going to value their offensive stats. All these different things, right? Like it changes every fucking year.
Every year.
I can't stand that. I'm gonna stay in the same ballpark though because this finally gives me my platform. How Game 2 ended for the Timberwolves. Fuck these writers for continuously giving Rudy Gobert defensive player. I don't care that I already talked about it earlier. I'm doubling down on the violence towards this because
I'm with that.
fuck them. God damn. Watch these fucking games. He gets these awards based on the stats and the performances he puts up against these like bottom 10 teams in the fucking NBA. Congratulations. Yes, the Pistons had a really hard time when Rudy Gobert was on the court. Congratulations. I don't give a fuck. I want
Draymond
to
was
see
so happy.
what you're able to do when you play these top tier teams and his ass gets cooked every fucking year. Every single year when he is in the playoffs, he is a target for the opposing offense when we get to these important rounds, second rounds, whatever, even sometimes in the first round, right? They're always trying to attack Rudy Gobert, and they keep giving him this goddamn Defensive Player of the Year award. I do not fucking understand it. Fuck these writers. Just learn the game of basketball just a little bit. Like the narrative just like, oh well, he has a lot of blocks. They have a good defensive rating. Yeah, they do have a good defensive rating. They're a good fucking defensive team with or without him. Doesn't matter that he's out there. We
really
saw
doesn't.
what happened in the one game that he missed in these fucking playoffs. They held the goddamn Nuggets to 80 points. He's
a great
clearly
point.
not the answer. I'm
Can't
not
argue.
saying he doesn't have a purpose and he's not like an overall good defensive player, but the defensive player of the year cannot be targeted. They can't. That cannot be what these dumbasses do. I don't
It is,
care.
though.
Wemby should have got it before fucking Rudy Gobert got it. You know I'm always going to bang the table. Bam needs a defensive player of the year because he is the goddamn best defensive player in the whole fucking NBA. Guarantee you this. That
I'll give
last
it to
shot by
Bam.
Luka would have been a lot different if it was Bam. First of all, Bam's not giving him a step back three for the win. That's not happening.
No.
Bam's going to get right on his fucking hip and then make him hit a step back mid-range shot, contested, and see if he can make that to tie the game. That's what would have fucking happened if Bam was guarding him. But nonetheless, we are 3 and possible.